Morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seed of Transformation Healing Center, Wareham, Massachusetts. Welcome to August. It's August 1st, guys. It is Tuesday, August 1st, and the moon is in Aquarius. And in fact, the moon will be full today, around 2:30-ish on the east coast of the U.S. Adjust for your time zone. You know, there's an old expression, when the shit hits the fan. Well, in astrology, we go along. There are patterns that are always sort of influencing the way planets interact with each other, creating sort of energy lines or vibrations. And now and again, they all seem to get together on like one day, and today is sort of that day. So we have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius today. Full moons are points of awareness with the sun powerfully placed in Leo. The sun loves being in Leo because the sun is the ruler of Leo. And we have the moon, which is more of an energy of the people in Aquarius, okay? And so we get to see the difference, in a way, between the very personal Leo and the very impersonal Aquarius. This full moon has Jupiter making a square to it. It's not very tight, but it is there. And Jupiter always makes things bigger. It always expands things. So it's like putting a magnifying glass, perhaps, on this full moon. We also have Pluto squaring the nodes of the moon very, very tightly. We'll be there until November, squaring the nodes of the moon. At their peak exactitude last week, the end of July, last week in July, when Pluto squared the nodes 3 times. What does that mean? The nodes are the direction of our evolution, right? This is where the stars are pointing for us to move towards, while working out, perhaps, figuring out where we've been. The north node now is in Aries. The south node is in Libra. Where are we going? Who are we going to be? And who are we in, or who were we in relationships? With Pluto squaring the nodes now, asking us to transform the way we relate in order to move in a new direction. Okay, so that's going on as well, along with this full moon. 2 very powerful things. We also have Venus retrograde that is interacting with Pluto and Neptune. Pluto and Neptune are having a conversation. They're saying, let's open the lines of communication. Let's talk about evolving. And Venus, as the head of the Yod, the planet that is being pointed at by the finger of God, is in Leo. Leo is the I will. This is what I want out of life, right? Venus in Leo retrograde. And also, we also have a Yod sort of moving back on itself. Yods will often happen, and then there can be a second Yod that develops. So we have to look at 2 things at once. All right. So now we're already looking at 2 things at once with this full moon. Okay. Now we're being asked to look at another 2 things at once. Oh, and with the square to the nodes, looking at 2 things at once. And Jupiter squaring the full moon, looking at 2 things at once. The Yod patterns are 2 Yods one apex planet is Venus. The other apex planet is Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So it really all comes down to how are we relating to one another. Okay? And because that's never just enough, because astrology works like this sometimes, we have a hammer of Thor. Hammer of Thor is similar to a Yod, only more willful and more difficult. As somebody who has a number of Yods in your chart, Yods are hard enough. The hammer of Thor is between is created by a square between two planets. In this case, it's Pluto and the North Node, making sesquiquadrates to a third planet, which today is Mars in Virgo. Mars, the ruler of the North Node, the direction forward. The handle of Thor's hammer is Mars in Virgo. The end, the business end of this is Pluto and the North Node in Aries, which is ruled by that Mars in Virgo. So the hammer's coming down. The shit's hitting the fan. Now, the question is it good or is it bad? Well, kind of depends on what side of the fan you're on, right? So, just all that astro talk, all that astro blathering comes down to this. This is a point in which all this confluence comes together and something happens. It's not just about awareness, but something happens. So expect something to happen today. And the full moon axis is the axis of love. The love that we give, the love that we receive. Our personal love, Leo, and our more collective love, Aquarius. The love of humanity in balance with each other. And now asking, what are you going to do about it, Mars, at the head of this hammer of Thor, the handle, as it were. So, I was doing a little reading about Thor's hammer. I'm not that up on my Norse mythology, and I don't watch any of the Marvel movies, which I think that's Thor, right? Is he Marvel? Anyway, wherever he is, whatever universe he's in. His hammer was built by dwarfs. Dwarfs have the energy of the elemental energy, right? And Thor's hammer was the thunder. Here's the thunder, lightning and the thunder. So we can expect to hear some thunder today. We might see some lightning today, but we're definitely going to see something happen. And it's a long time coming. It is a long time coming. So I have to ask Michael about this, but we can see that we have this lovely sedum, and then behind it, some more sedums, some more hens and chicks. But there's this large thing just growing out of the middle, and I do believe that is corn. We have corn, I think, growing out of the middle of our fountain. An odd thing to be growing out of the middle of the fountain, but I have to ask Michael. It certainly looks like it is corn. Now, I don't know how big we can allow that to get. Maybe he'll just plant it in his garden, and it'll be the lone corn plant. And the interesting thing is about this is that I did moonshine with Ona yesterday, so check that out on her channel. And Ona has synesthesia, which means she smells things. She can smell colors. She can smell energies. It comes through as a smell. And she kept getting corn as a smell for this full moon. And this full moon is actually on Lammas, which is a harvest festival. It's the first harvest of the year festival and a cross-quarter day in the pagan calendar, honoring the sun god Lu. It's also called Lunas god, which I said wrong. But this is a powerful day. And on this powerful pagan holiday day, we have this full moon and this hammer of Thor and 2 yods and 2 T-squares. All this energy looking for direction. Looking for direction. Mars is about energy and often direction. Mars is in Virgo. What needs to be healed? What needs to be fixed? What needs to be adjusted? That's what's happening, guys. Oh boy! All right, now I'm going to stop talking astrology. We're just going to look at these beautiful flowers. So these, this hydrangea is just now, let's see if I can do it. If you shake it, oh no, it's not happening. But it's, all this is starting, it's like all the pollen, and it just smells wonderful. Subtle. But yeah, so these are spectacular. I mean, look at that one. It's spectacular, right? I don't know. I'm just so lucky. And then, of course, these beautiful, as seen from space, hibiscus. Gotta love that. Now, is that a duck I heard, or was that a neighbor? You hear that? I don't know if that's my neighbor doing something in his yard, or if that was a duck. Oh. It is some sort of bird. Maybe a crow? Oh, I've never heard that sound before. Oh, there it is. I don't know what that was. Big. Looks like it might have been a crow. Huh. There you go. There you go, crow. And we have our tiger lilies blooming and our Asiatic lilies blooming. And our daylilies blooming. And our roses reblooming. Second time. And then over there, where the puppies, Gretchen and Boo, lie, the bleeding heart is starting to die back, which it does every year. And then popping up is another hibiscus. And Michael said to me, is that a hibiscus over there? Did we plant a hibiscus over there? We don't even know what we plant. Looks like we planted a hibiscus. And I believe that hibiscus might be a nice light pink. So we'll have to wait to see when those flowers open. Something to look forward to. And of course, we have Michael's little garden over here. The tall things are sunflowers. There's a whole bunch of sage. Lots of peppers. It's been a good pepper year so far. And of course, probably because it's been hot as hell, honestly. Sometimes we don't get a lot of peppers because it's too chilly around here. But we're getting these beautiful peppers. Look at these things. Aren't they beautiful? I'm not sure if they're Italian peppers or if they're some sort of poblano. I don't think it's a poblano because they take a long time to bloom. I think it's those Italian peppers. We did buy quite a few, and Michael, although he loves to grow things and he's really good at it, he rarely puts what he's growing, and we kind of have to guess as it comes up. He's not into the little, the pretty little things that say this is this and this is that. No, he just plants it and we grow it and we harvest it and we eat it. He's not decorative in that way. So that's what's going on. That's the story, Morning Glories. Until tomorrow, we will see. So what is happening? I have the Astrology and Kabbalah of August out. It is about, I was a little verbose. It's about an hour. The first 20 minutes is about the Kabbalah, the numerology, the tree of life. For those of you who are interested, my students who have studied with me. And then we talk about the astrology. And really the astrology of the week is really the astrology of today. So everything I've said today, I go into further detail. And probably not even enough detail because it's just that kind of day. And also on Ona's channel, Ona and I did Moonshine, and that episode is up on Ona's Tarot. You can check that out. She did, and not to spoil, not for a spoiler, but she did actually put an offer, and the offer was accepted on what looks like a lovely apartment in a beautiful building next to the lake. So she says the views are spectacular. So we'll all get to experience that with her if you follow her on her channel. But she's very excited. And talk about manifestation. She sold her house on the new moon with the nodal shift, and the new moon being opposite Pluto and all this other stuff. And within less than the time it took for the moon to get full, she now has a new home to go to. And so one of the things about this time that's very powerful, and also very powerful about August, is we can manifest almost like instantaneous manifestation. Although Ona and I talked about it, and I think off camera, she has been sort of planning and moving in that direction for about a year. And so she sort of had the vehicle turned in the direction, but didn't necessarily have, like, that was it. It was sort of like turned, and then when the time was right, it just happened. And so for those of us who have been working in a direction and we're wondering, when is this going to happen? When is this going to pay off? When is this going to be the time when this whole direction I'm going in takes off? Now, it may require some more adjustments, because remember, Mars, which is kind of about direction, right? Because Mars is forward motion. We need to make adjustments still because it's in Virgo. But things are happening, and things are going to happen fast. Go with it. Go with it. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I talked to you long enough. Much love, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Namaste.